Hello, my name is Cliff Jeffers and I'm the IACR Safeguarding Officer. This is a short video just to give you an introduction to safeguarding in our association, which all members need to be familiar with. First of all, this isn't an optional thing, it's something we must do in both jurisdictions and make sure we have policies and procedures in place, which is developed in 2021, and we were given the generous support by the Church of Ireland safeguarding departments, both North and South, and they help us with our Garda vetting and PSNI checks. The safeguarding procedures we have only apply to IACR organised events, and I'll come back to that in a moment. Our safeguarding officers, we have one for each district. Currently in the Northern District is Paula Lowe, in the Eastern District Elizabeth Manville, and in the Southern District Di Pitcher. And I'm the Association Safeguarding Officer for this association. Together we form the safeguarding panel with authority to implement the safeguarding policy and procedures of the IACR, and if there's any difficulties or doubts or issues, then it's brought to the panel. The safeguarding documents, we have a few. The first one is a statement. It's a short front-facing document. It's a requirement in the Republic of Ireland, but all of our documents are for all of Ireland together. And this is a document that parents might look at to be sure that we have a good policy in place. And then we have a more detailed document detailing our approach and our structure. And then finally we have a procedure document implementing all the different things that we do to minimize the risks which we've identified. And then finally the last document we have is our records, and these are proof that we have done all the things that we're supposed to do, and we keep records of who are at our events and who's responsible and who's signing it off and so on. Our structure, we have one set of documents, North and South. Our child protection includes also vulnerable adults, and we have the same procedure for both. District safeguarding officers are the designated liaison officers, and they're the people who will make contact with the statutory authorities, in other words social workers or police, Gardaí, should the occasion be needed. Here's an important thing, that the district or the association never takes the duty of care for anybody under 18 or vulnerable adults. This responsibility stays with the leaders from their home tower. Making this choice simplifies greatly our safeguarding structure because it leaves the caring of young people or vulnerable adults with those with whom they're already familiar with, those from the home tower and their leaders. The district safeguarding officer or their designee generates records for IACR events and then designated someone to do it if they're not able to be there. These records are kept by the district secretaries for their district, and if an association event takes place in their area, then they keep the records for those as well. This is what we're not doing, which is helpful to know. Taking responsibility for the weekly practices and ringing activities of individual towers that are not organised by the districts or the association. So your day-to-day running of your own tower in your own parish, in your own place, is the responsibility of your home parish. And the simplest way to think about it is whoever's ensuring it, it's their child protection policy is also in place. So day-to-day running of your parish practices and so on is your parish insurance and also your parish safeguarding policy. We do not train and vet anyone who moves, but only those who are required. And those who are required are the safeguarding officers, the ringing masters, and anybody who's involved in coaching for the association. We also, when something goes wrong, if we have an incident, we only tell those who need to know. It's not for sharing of gossip or sending information out to people who don't need to know. So the basic child protection training, those who have to be trained, mentioned already, safeguarding officers, ringing masters, and anyone who does coaching training on behalf of the association. These are our procedures. So we have, first of all, a procedure for managing, all these procedures are in the one document, and there are different headings in the document. So one is the management of allegations and of abuse, and what do we do? Reporting to the relevant authority. And then we have our recruitment procedure, how we recruit people, the steps that we have to take. We have safeguarding training information, and including identification of the occurrence of harm. Maintaining lists of persons, those who are relevant and mandated for particular roles. And we have a procedure for appointed relevant person. That's the people who would contact the state authorities if there was an issue. And then we have a few policies towards the end: an anti-bullying policy, photo and video policy, and social media policy. And of course these apply to children and young people and vulnerable adults, but probably good policy overall as well. You should be familiar with those. So be mindful of safeguarding requirements when you're organising an event. At every meeting, every AGM, district or association, safeguarding should be on the agenda, even if there's nothing to report. It keeps it foremost in our minds and make sure that it does get a place if there's something to be mentioned. Be willing to give at events, willing to give your name to the district safeguarding officer or whoever is looking after the event on their behalf at district and association events. So we always keep a list of everybody who's there, not just those who are safeguarding or not just the young people. We're very grateful to those who volunteer to do this essential work for us, and please do everything you can to help them and make their role easier. And our policy is reviewed every 2 years and presented to the association AGM. Here's our few forms. We have A, B and C. The first one is brought by towers with their young people, with their names and who their leaders are. And that's brought to every association or district practice or event that's organised. And those adults of that group, of that home tower, keep the responsibility for those young people or vulnerable adults throughout the event. There's an attendance sheet which records all of the people present, young people and other members and visitors, anybody who's there. And then the final one is an incident report form. Just if something goes wrong, then we have a procedure in dealing with it. And here's copies of the forms. You can also find them on our website. So this is the one that's filled in by a group bringing young people to an event. This is the attendance sheet for all those who are at the event. And this is filed by the district secretaries, and they keep them forever and their files. And then finally, this is our incident report. If you want to find out more, the safeguarding is a tab on our website under association, and you can click on that and that'll take you to this page where you can read a little bit about our introduction, and then also the policies and procedures and forms are all there for you to see. So we can't do question and answers in the video, but if you have any questions, please let me know. That's my email address, and please feel free to get in contact if you have any queries. Thank you very much, and thank you for your attention. And please do all you can in implementing safeguarding in the IACR. Thank you.